All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I just finished going through a bunch of different iterations of a body mass index or BMI calculator using several different programming languages, virtually all of the ones that are taught at Rankin Technical College. Those include JavaScript, jQuery, C#, both with a console app and a GUI app, ASP.NET, Java. I even did one we're not currently offering, which is App Inventor 2 and an Android app. All right, now in our textbook, which is the Muroc book here, really pretty much the first 9 chapters, the author talks about using this tip app. Then they go into this newsreader app and finally the task list app. So I thought that before we'd even get started on this, I'd write my own tip app. All right, hopefully that you're up with that and okay with that. So I'm just going to come in here. It's going to be a tip calculator. I think as I start here, the other thing that I'm going to do is come in here, and this is my BMI folder. This has got all these different BMIs. I'm going to add a new folder to this that's called tip calculator. And I'm going to start by creating another folder in there that's called JPS version 1. And maybe I'll even do a couple. I don't know if I will or not. And I'm not lying to you here. I'm doing this pretty much from the seat of my pants. All right, so let's start a new Android project. We're going to call this tip calculator. Now, I noticed on here, they changed this around. I don't want it like this. I want to put down jpscott at rankin.edu, because typically you do have the package name backwards, edu.jpscott.tipcalculator. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to change where this is. So I'll have to find it because it's going to be too goofed up otherwise. So let's see. Okay, there's tip calculator and there's JPS version 1. Not sure what that 09 is from. Tip calculator, next. We'll just take the minimum, or the defaults. Blank or empty activity, we'll take the defaults there. Main activity, that's fine. Finish. I'm going to do this a little differently than the ones I've shown you before. It's going to be very deliberate. I think it's probably in a way that I maybe should have used earlier, but I think it's going to make more sense to do it this way. As you know, it takes a minute or so for this to kind of be built. All right, it's coming up slowly but surely. All right, so we've got our, getting a glass of water out. We are getting our program out. And if I go over to res, layout, activity main, there's our layout as it currently stands. All right, you can see we've got a constraint layout here. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove this. Okay. All right, then I'm going to go into my text mode here. So this is what I have. And I don't want this. I don't want this Android support, constraint layout, etc. I want what's called a linear layout. So I'm going to highlight all of that. Blow that up so you can see it. And I'm going to type in here linear layout. Okay, good. The good news is it didn't give me any errors for doing that. All right, and you might say, well, why are you doing that? It'll make a little bit more sense as we're going on. All right, so I want to come in here. The orientation right now, I want this to be vertical. All right, if you say, I don't know what that is or why that is, let's start putting some stuff in here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put in a text view, which again is like a label. Notice when I put this in here, why it's doing it like that. Okay, all right, there's my label. All right, now underneath that, I want to put in another layout, believe it or not. Okay, so I'm going to come back into here. I think I can do it from here also. I don't know if it shows layouts in here. Yep, it does. So I want to put in a horizontal layout. So I'm going to drag and put that in there. All right, so now notice I've got a horizontal layout. In that horizontal layout, the first thing I want to do is I want to come back and I want to put in another text view. And after that text view, which right now is set the width to match parent, and I want that to be wrap content. That's better. All right. So after that text view, I want to put in an edit text. And I'm going to make this a numeric field with a decimal in it. Okay, so now I've got, I want my text view, and I want the edit text to go with it. Now, where is that? They've changed this around they have changed around the way this stuff works. I think it's a lot harder than at least it used to be. All right, so this is what it looks like right now. I want this text view. I do want that one to be wrap content, but this second one here, I want this one to be match parent. We'll leave it like this. This will be fine for right now. All right, so now, you know what? Let me remove all this. All right, for the first one, I'm gonna make it as simple as I can. So let me first drag out a text view, put it right there. There's my text view. All right. Under that text view, I'm going to put in another text view. Under that text view, I'm going to put in an edit text, which is going to be here, number, decimal. So I'm going to put that down there. All right. Then I'm going to put in 3 buttons. Now, to put in those 3 buttons, I do want those to be all on the same line. All right, so I'm hoping against hope that this is going to work. If it doesn't, I'll just go back and change it. That's fine. So let's go in and find another linear layout horizontal, and we'll put that in. Then I'm going to drag in 3 buttons. Again, I don't want that to be match parent. I think I want that to be wrap content. That's not the one. That one should be match parent. This one, there's my button. I want that one to be, nope. All right. And then I want to put in another button. And finally, I want to put in a 3rd button. Now, this looks really weird the way it is. We'll fix it up. So please don't worry about it. I know that this interface is looking, for lack of better words right now, kind of junky. All right. Let's try putting in another linear layout then. I don't want that to be inside of the other one. So I'm going to come over here into here. And I'm going to add here another linear layout. All right. I'm going to throw all of this stuff that we just had previously right there. there. Right there. And that finishing linear layout, I wish I would have put that here. I goofed up. Okay, so that's good. There's that. I don't think this belongs here. All right. So I now have, when I go back to design, there's my other linear layout. Okay. Now, under this linear layout, I want to put in first a text view. And on that same line as my text view, which I can't see right now, so it was there. So after that text view, I want to put in another number decimal. Okay. This is either going to work or it's going to be a cluster, but we're going to look at it anyway. So I'm going to come back here because I want to do the same thing again. So where I just added this, the edit text and the text view, I'm going to copy it to the clipboard and I'm going to paste it in again. All right. Now, don't worry, I've got some errors in here. Those are going to work their way out in just a minute. So this will be, will it take 4 there? 5 there? I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's work on a few things here, such as, okay, these buttons, they're pretty ugly the way they are. So I'm going to actually come in, I'm going to highlight each button. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the width on each button to 0, which sounds kind of stupid, but hopefully it'll make sense in just a minute. All right. And then I'm going to go to View All Properties, and I'm going to find the property that's called, there should be one here towards the bottom called Weight. Okay, like I said, there should be one at the bottom here called Weight. Layout Weight. And I've got it is set to 1. That's what I want. Okay? All right. Those are my 3 buttons. Let's start with those. This first button is, I'm going to change the name. If I double click on it, I can change the name right here. So I'm going to change the name from button to button 10%. All right. I'm going to change the text on it, but I'll do that in just a minute. The second button is going to be called button 15%. And the third one is going to be called button 20%. All right, so I've changed those, all of those. Now I want to come in and under values, strings, I want to go and start adding some stuff in here. The order in which you do this doesn't matter. So that'll be my button that will symbolize a tip of 10%. The next one will be 15%. And the last one will be 20%. Okay, so I've fixed those. Let's go back to our main activity, and I'm sorry, our activity main. This, then, we will change the text on here, get rid of the word button, and replace it with 10%. There's the first one. Second one, Again, get rid of the text, replace it with 15%. And the third one, get rid of the text again and replace it with 20%. All right, those are done. Now let's come up here where we've got this text view right here. And we again are going to go into our strings file. And we're going to, we should probably do this near the top, although again the order doesn't matter. Equal, call it title, Android tip calculator. All right. So we will come back then to our activity main in this first one right here. The text won't be text view, rather the text will be Android tip calculator. That's good. Let's go in and let's view all the properties. All right. I'm going to find the text property here. Text alignment. Oops. I'm going to make center, which as you can see centers it on the screen. I don't care about colors right now. I showed you colors in the last one. I don't really care about that. Text size. Let's change that and make it like 24. That looks much better. All right, so we've got that. Let's go down to the next one. This is going to say bill amount. But before we do this bill amount, let's go up to the top here. And layout width, layout height. I don't know if I want layout margin or if there's a regular margin. We'll try layout margin here. And I'm going to try a top margin. I'm going to put in 20 here. See how that moved it down a little bit? I like the way that looks better. All right, so I'm going to come over to here. Very similar to what we did before. I'm going to go over and let's go into our strings. And we will call this bill amount. All right. Come back to our activity main. We'll change the text in here because text view is not the name we'd want. We can also change the ID here. So we'll change the ID to text view bill amount. All right. And the text, again, we'll remove what's there. And we will choose bill amount. It's looking better. The text alignment, we will once again want that to be centered. Let's check my time here. I'm at 18 minutes, so I'm going to try to build the rest of this interface and then stop for now. And text size, well, we had the last one, we had the last one at 24. Let's try this at about 18. That looks good. All right, this is coming, it's working okay. So over here, this is our edit text, and this will be edit text bill amount. Okay. We will again come up to the text. There won't be any text in here, so we're going to leave that blank, but we will center it. And we will set the size again. We'll, just as before, we'll make it, in fact, let's make this 24. All right, made it a little bigger, but that's okay. All right. Also, let's come in here and let's come to the layout margin top, and let's put in about 10. So that move that down a little bit. That's good. And let's also set some bottom here. We'll set that to 20, which pushes that down. All right, I'm liking the way that this looks right now. Let's do a file, save all. All right, and I have not started up the emulator, stupidly on my part, but let's do that right now. And I will use my Nexus 1, which is the phone. And none of this is operational. I wouldn't expect it to be right now. I put in no code. I'm just hoping at least the top of this looks okay. All right, that doesn't look centered, neither does that, which I don't like because I tried to center them. But we've got our bill amount, boom, 10, 15, 20. That all looks okay. And I've got here my title. I've got to change the name. This is all okay. So I've got to come back, and where I've got the title, I've got to change the name of that to text view title. This all looks good. That is centered, but this stuff is not centered. I'm not sure why. All right, that's just my start. I'm not worried about it right now. We'll come back and we'll keep working on it here. Text. We can also bold the title. That looks a little nicer. It's not showing me the alignment, which I thought was here, but all right, that looks okay. Let's also take this bill amount. Let's also bold that. All right. Again, it's not looking bad at all. Thought this was set to center, and I thought this was set to center. It is. I don't know why it's not showing in the center, but it's not. All right. I also wanted to change for that title. We want to change the ID. That ID then will become text view title. All right. You can see I'm coming in here and I'm changing all this stuff. That's what I want to do. All right. Next, I want to reverse these. I want the text view to come before the edit text. So there's my text view. So this will be text view tip. All right. And I do want it to have some text in here. We've got that. We will come down to here. We'll find our text size, etc. We'll again bold that, and size we'll make, let's make it 24. All right, for some reason it's way down at the bottom, and I think that's because this linear layout was, when we set it up, we have match parent and it should be a wrap content. Like I said, I'm still not sure why that's doing that. Not sure why that is so big. But it is. Okay. Hopefully that'll move its way up. I'm not sure, like I said, why that is so big, but it is. All right. So for this text view, I'll want to change the text on there. Which currently just says text view, and I want that to say tip hyphen. We'll do that. All right, so that's been set, and I think we reset the name already. We did. This will be changed to edit text tip. All right. That's good. And this one right here will be, again, I want to change this one will be text view total. And its text will be total hyphen space. All right. And this edit text will be edit text total. All right. Let's do a file, save all, and I already can figure out I made a couple mistakes there. That tip and that total should not be like that. Let's fix those, and then we'll call it a video. So let's go back to strings. String name equal tip. Tip hyphen. Next one will be called total, and it'll be total hyphen. Okay, that's good. Let's, as always, do a file, save all. Oops, file, save all. We haven't saved in a while. Let's go back to our activity main. I want to change this. This shouldn't have the word total in it. Nope. It should have my string that's got total hyphen. All right. And this one shouldn't have tip in it. Nope, it should be the string tip hyphen. We do that again for nationalization reasons. That linear layout, why is that so funky? I don't want that to be match parent. Content. Rep content. All right, that's looking better. This one, I think, though, I do want the width to be match parent. There we go. And I think I want for this one, same kind of thing. I want the width to be match parent. And this one, I think I also want the width to be match parent and the height to be wrap content. That is pretty much the way I want this to look. All right. Okay, that, notice is very different in size. So let's come in and first, let's highlight all three of these buttons. And then let's go to bottom and let's put in about 20. Okay, that looks better. Then let's go to where we've got total here. And we will again go down to text. We will change the text size to, I think we said 24. And we will also bold that. All right. I think on both of these also there is an alignment, and I want to align that so it's right aligned. That's not the alignment that I'm looking for. Actually, text end with that. There we go. All right, let's do one more save, all, and let's run it one more time and take a look at what we have. Again, this by no means is this the most beautiful program in the world. All right, I'm looking for it to be functional, and I'm hoping that after doing all this it will be, and my stuff isn't going to be thrown all over the screen. That's not bad. Again, don't know why that is not centered. That now is, that is not. And this is looking fine. Okay? So, we're just about ready to start writing the code. Okay? I guess one last thing I wouldn't mind doing where it says bill amount there. That's this. We'll see if we can fix the alignment on that. I don't want to waste any more text alignment. It says center. Looks like it's centered here, but when you run it, it's not. So something is keeping that from happening. I want to stop right now and then come back in and start writing some code. So I'll do that next.